Hello, my name is Joseph Mathew. I'm a local real estate agent, and I'm here with Audra Whatley and the Be Zen Holistic Wellness Center. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us today, and looking forward to asking some questions about acupuncture and the center as a whole.
Okay.
But before we get started, let's tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you ended up starting this business.
It's really been a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
When I was very young, when I was in high school, I knew that I wanted to work with healing people at the deepest level that you could go. At the time, my understanding was that was genetics, and I actually started in genetics.
Okay.
My bachelor's degree is in genetics. I used to be a research scientist, so I worked on teams that created vaccines for companion animals like cats and dogs. I worked at another place where we did cellular biology, actually working with the cells themselves to ramp up some of those vaccine sort of things. And then we did some other PCR-based diagnostic testing.
Okay.
All of that, you're hidden away in a lab and you don't really get to interact with people. And I was just kind of like, I don't think I want to do this the rest of my life. I was thinking about going to med school. I'd actually bought the book to study for the medical exam.
The MCAT.
The MCAT. And just decided, like, gosh, this isn't what I want to do. Really, I don't want to spend those long hours in hospitals and rounds. But I didn't know what I wanted to do for sure.
Okay.
At the time, I had some health issues of my own. I had a chronic sinus infection, and I just kept going to doctors and more antibiotics, and I was on and off of antibiotics for almost 18 months, and I just was feeling worse and not better. And I had a friend that just said, hey, why don't you try these herbs? And within 3 days, something I hadn't been able to touch in 18 months cleared up.
Wow.
In 3 days. And I was just like, okay, where is this medical system, right? So I started looking for a medical system based in herbology, and that's originally how I found Chinese medicine.
Okay, wow. So it kind of started with your own, solving your own issue.
Absolutely.
And then wow, that's cool.
And so I went to school for Chinese medicine around 2000, and I've been practicing since 2002.
Okay.
And I had my first practice up in Colorado, and in 2004 I moved back to Texas.
Okay.
And since then I have completed postgraduate programs in functional medicine. So we do lab work as well as the more traditional holistic.
Okay.
But our lab work, we're really looking at more optimal ranges to help people get to optimal health instead of just they're not sick.
Okay.
So most people, when you go to your doctor's office and you run labs, if you're in that normal range, you're not sick. And so they just say, you're fine, go home. And it doesn't matter that you're like, but I'm tired and I don't feel right. It's like, my weight's not what it should be, which, there's a lot of things that a lot of us struggle with, but we don't necessarily get answers. And so that's what we focus on here, is getting answers at the source of things and just having a much more natural approach to health and wellness.
Oh, good. Good. So it's more, the name, the holistic, is the whole person.
It really is.
That's good.
Yeah.
And so what are the services that you guys provide here? Just a quick rundown.
Yeah, a quick rundown. So we definitely do acupuncture and Chinese medicine, which is herbs and things like that. We do cupping, which you may have seen on the Olympics a while back. So we do cupping as part of our services as well. We have a holistic nutritionist that works with it, because at the foundation of good health is obviously good nutrition. And we also have some other, people that work with mindset and things like that, because that also plays into
the whole
individual, right?
Good.
And then we have a system called Advanced Allergy Therapeutics, and it's a no needle, no supplement system for treating allergies and sensitivities.
Oh, wow.
So we work with that. Like I said, we do a variety of lab testing to help people get to the source of their health problems.
Okay.
I think
that's pretty,
I was going to say that's a pretty good sampling, and there's a few other things that we throw in. We work with essential oils. So
okay, good.
That gives you a little bit of an idea.
So let's start with the acupuncture, right?
Sure.
This is out of curiosity, right? How does it work? What does it hurt? Kind of give it a rundown of.
Yeah. So, I always say this for women, because men don't always get this, but if you've ever plucked your eyebrows, that's like 50 times worse than acupuncture.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
I was going to say, really.
Yeah.
So it's for the most part painful. You might, I'm sorry, not painful.
Okay. Yeah.
For the most part, you don't feel anything.
Okay.
You may feel a tiny pinch or something like that. But like I said, if you've ever groomed as far as pulling a hair or whatever it is, it's basically nothing.
Okay.
We get so programmed in our culture to think of injections, and those are really big needles. Acupuncture needles are about the size of a hair.
Okay. Wow.
And they're flexible, so they're very small. And like I said, for a lot of them, you don't even feel it all.
Yeah. So how does it work?
So the idea behind it is that it balances the body's energy so the body can heal itself.
Okay.
In Chinese medicine, there's a saying that's basically when there's flow of qi or the energy of the body, there's no pain.
Okay.
When there's pain, there's no flow.
Okay.
So we're rebalancing that flow. Okay. To take all of that back to where it actually makes sense to normal human beings. It's basically what we're doing is that we're increasing blood flow. We're bringing the body's focus to certain areas of the body. If you really want to get nerdy about it, there's a lot to be said where they're doing all of the work in quantum physics now about how that we do have an energetic body, or the vital body in quantum physics that they talk about. And so we are directing that kind of more wave particle sort of thing versus, we're working at that level, much more of a quantum physics kind of level than we are the physiological level of like, this is my leg, this is my arm. We're really working with the energetic system.
And acupuncture goes centuries back, right? Even probably.
Yes. So the books, like the traditional acupuncture books, were written about 2,500 years ago.
2,500 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
And those are just the books. Yeah. I was going to say in those history books, it talks about the emperors before that had them all destroyed. And so those were actually the reclassifications and the rewritten books. So who knows how old it is.
And you mentioned cupping too, right? So how does that work? What is? Yeah.
So the idea behind cupping is that, a lot of people, they see the circles and they're like, oh my gosh, that looks painful. Like it's bruised.
Yeah.
It's not painful. It's like, it's literally, for lack of a better expression, it's pulled suction. So it's kind of like, it's kind of like a hickey. Okay. We'll just say it. Okay. But it's pulled suction. And the idea is that it pulls out the stagnant blood or the toxins. So if you've ever worked out really hard and had crazy sore muscles, which I'm sure you have, all of that is because of micro tears in the muscle itself. That's why the muscles get, swole, right? That's what the guys say. They get swole, right? So that happens because there's micro tears in the muscle, which there's actually bleeding in there.
Okay.
So if you go in and you cup on top of that, you're going to get those nice big bruises, but it pulls out that soreness and those aches and pains from those strained muscles immediately.
Okay. And then it just kind of flushes out of your system? Is that what? Okay.
It pulls it right out.
Okay, cool.
Pulls it right out of the system. So, like I said, if you look at some of the Chinese Olympic team, you see it all over them because they're like, oh, I've got a little tightness here. So they go in, they do some cupping, it pulls it right out.
Okay. Wow. Wow. So it's more of so there's no medicine or anything that goes into it. It's more of a suctioning with it, and then just takes it out.
It's just suction. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So
it is literally just suction.
Cool. That's. So, I bet everybody saw it. Like Michael Phelps had. It looked like he was hit with a paintball gun almost. So
it looked like an octopus got a hold of him.
So, but I'm glad to know.
Paintball gun. That's a good analogy. I usually say it looks like an octopus got a hold of him.
I've gotten hit with the paintball, and it almost looks like that. So. Yeah. Now you also mentioned that you guys do. Nutrition, wholeness in that sense also. Yeah. So what do you guys do regarding that?
So Bonnie Wildison-Heiss is our holistic nutritionist, and she is amazing. Okay. We don't do the keto diet or the paleo diet or the this diet or that diet, whatever. We really work with tailoring things to the person sitting in front of us. Okay. So she is fantastic about, really finding out what are your food preferences and helping you clean up and get to a cleaner, healthier, sustainable diet. Because most of those fad diets and things like that, they're not sustainable. Yeah. I mean, it is not something that you can carry on for the rest of your life. And as a habit and a lifestyle. Yeah. And we're really about creating healthy habits and healthy lifestyle so that not only can you do it for yourself now, but you can do it for your kids down the road and just create healthy lifestyle for the rest, really.
I mean, that's so true. Life. Like the keto diet or the paleo diet, all of a sudden you can't go out. It's restricting, I've dabbled with both, and it's like you can't go out with friends, you can't hang out with friends. It's like the foods are so restricted. You can't even hang out with family in a sense. So I see the difference in approach. That's really good. And then you also mentioned can you go a little bit more about the allergy treatment as well?
Sure. So, most people, when they think of allergies, they think of the immune system and antihistamines and shots and all of that sort of stuff. The idea behind the system that we use is really that we're reprogramming the brain's response so that it doesn't trigger the immune system to kick in. Okay. Right. So, particularly with, food sensitivities and things like that, there's not any shots or there's really not any treatment for them. So there's a lot of those that we can actually clear the response through working with a digital signal without exposing somebody to the substance itself. We're using a digital signal and then clearing the brain's response through using a massager along the spine. It actually feels good. I've worked with every age from literally 7 days old into people in their 80s. Wow. Right. When it comes to, because there's always like, you've eaten onions your whole life and then you get to 70 and for some reason you can't eat onions anymore. Okay. Right. Yeah. So I've had those people, as well as the little bitty ones that are just having a hard time getting started. Okay, wow. So, and every age in between. All right. Wow. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty, I've never, that's something, I'm a pharmacist turned real estate agent. So like, that's something I've never even heard of, that's like, that's pretty cool. That's interesting. Definitely, a different approach to making sure that somebody can take care of their allergies.
Yes, we work with food sensitivities, but we also work with those respiratory allergies. Like, it's January. So January, February, we've had a ton of mountain cedar the last few months. We've had juniper, elm, and right now mold is really bad. So all of those kind of things that we get just exposure to on a regular basis, it's like, you can go change from Claritin to whatever to whatever. Yeah. And you're always trying to guess what it is and you still don't feel good. Yeah. But this just, like I said, it just clears those responses. Okay. So it's like for foods and for
respiratory issues as well. Okay. Yeah. So what other services can people expect when they come here?
Yeah, so we have one other lady that works with us. Okay. Her name is Mesa Clark, and she is an energy healer. That's her, technically her title. But she does a lot of amazing work with just like, when there's things that you just can't quite break through because you're just stuck and you don't know why you're stuck. And it's like, you want to make that next goal or whatever it is, but you just can't quite get your brain around it or whatever it is. She does some amazing work with just like, sometimes she'll hold positions on your head, just like hand positions on your head. Sometimes she'll have you walk through some verbal statements and then she'll give you a breathing pattern to help clear whatever it is. But it just helps people go from feeling stuck into that what's next. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah. So, she's amazing to work with. It's one of those things where it's like the people that really respond to that kind of thing will, it's like what I said, will speak to them. Yeah. And there'll be lots of people that are like, she's a what and she does he? Wait, she what?
The people that are open-minded to it.
Right. It's like the people that are like, I want to see who that person is. But she does a number of different modalities that just help people kind of break through those energetic blockages from mindset to family or whatever it is.
Wow. So that's definitely, so you guys cover from anywhere from the body, the mind, nutrition, the spirit, every aspect. Wow, that's wonderful. Yeah. Thank you so much for that information. That's great information. Where can somebody go to get in contact with you, and where can they find you?
Sure. Our website is BEZEN, BEZEN, HWC, stands for Holistic Wellness Center, .com. So BEZENHWC.com. And our number is 214-551-4734. We are located on the corner of 75 and McDermott and Allen.
Perfect. And they call-in schedules, or is it walk-in, or what do you prefer?
We don't take walk-ins just because we do get a little crazy, and we try to make it a short wait time for everyone. But you can you can schedule on the website, or you can call in. If you're a first timer, we prefer that you either schedule on the website or call in. But my established patients, a lot of them will just text us and be like, hey, got anything this afternoon? Or, I didn't see anything on the schedule for this afternoon. Can we squeak by. Okay. Which we have somebody coming pretty soon for that.
All right, perfect.
But thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.